With you. Let's go now to, I think, leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch. Kemi, good to see you. Kemi, it looks like you're in a pub.
I am.
Excellent, good girl.
I'm in a pub that sadly has had to close because of flooding. I'm in Wales, Monmouth, and we're trying to see what we can do with the local Conservative councillors.
Now, of course, pubs, like many businesses, have been really struggling over the course of the last 12 months. I mean, the national insurance increases, the minimum wage increases, but more than that, there is a new bill that is currently going through Parliament that is going to put a lot of impositions upon businesses. For pubs, it will include something that's known as the banter ban, where what people say within the pub might well be able to be put on the shoulders of the pub landlord. But more than that, this is the same piece of legislation that the Labour Party itself is now beginning to unpick. What do you have to say about their U-turn on these day one rights?
It is a government in chaos. But first of all, can I just thank the Conservatives in the House of Lords? They're the ones who brought this about. Getting other people to join them, voting it down. Andrew Griffith, Shadow Business Secretary, has been going to every single business he can, getting them to join the campaign, because it is a terrible idea what they are doing. The day one rights in particular would mean you could sue an employer before you'd even started working. You could walk through the door and immediately have rights to take them to a tribunal. Crazy. So much red tape. You talked about the banter ban. You need basically, pub police to be able to meet the legislation's requirements, a right to roam. This is a bill written by the unions for the unions. Unions can come into any business, even a pub like this one, as long as you employ 20 or more people. They come in and they can do what they like, force you to put things on your notice board. Just terrible. And is this going to create growth? Nope. Is it going to create jobs? No. It is yet another socialist piece of nonsense which Labour brought in because they didn't have any ideas. And now they're U-turning because they can see that it has landed like a cup of cold sick with business.
Your personal data could be exposed right now without you even knowing it. And if you want it removed, use incogni.com/GB News in the description now and get 60% off an annual plan on us. Incogni reach out to the data brokers on your behalf and request that your information be deleted from their databases. And they'll keep sending removal requests to make sure your data stays gone. Sometimes your information ends up on strange, obscure websites that automated tools just can't reach. And that's why Incogni just launched their unlimited plan with a feature called custom removals. With this, you can submit any link where your personal information appears, literally paste in the URL, and their privacy team will investigate and work to get it removed. And getting started is super easy. Hit the link in the description, create an Incogni account, and tell them whose data you want removed. Grant them permission to work on your behalf, and then all you've got to do is sit back and relax. They'll keep you updated along the way. Incogni is totally risk-free for 30 days. If you try it, it's not for you, you'll get a full refund. So take back control of your personal data today with Incogni. Use our code GBNews at checkout via the link in the description and you'll get 60% off an annual plan.
Kemi, they are denying it's another U-turn. They are saying us out here are just misinterpreting what they said in their manifesto. But you have to ask yourself, are they really putting the party before the people?
Yes, they are putting their party before the people. Rachel Reeves' budget was all about saving her own skin, taxing workers to pay for benefits, to buy off her backbenchers. It was terrible. And right now, they're just trying to keep themselves in a job. It's extremely selfish. And it is a U-turn. I asked Keir Starmer about this at Prime Minister's Questions earlier on in the year, and he laughed, as he always does, dismissed it. It is a U-turn. Justin Matters, the minister or the former minister who was working on the bill, has said it is a manifesto breach. So they're just trying to save face. This is a government in chaos all over the place. Don't know what they're doing.
Well, at least this is a manifesto breach that some businesses will be breathing a sigh of relief about in some small part. There, of course, are other manifesto breaches that perhaps are less positive for businesses up and down the countries. The tax that is now going to be imposed on so many more people over the course of this Parliament, almost £30 billion of extra tax rises for ordinary working people. But the news that seems to be eking out today is that this was not to fill any kind of black hole whatsoever. What now is being more widely understood is that the Chancellor chose to do this rather than was forced to do this by some big deficit or imposition from the markets.
Yeah. So all of this stuff she's been saying about there being a deficit that the Tories left and a black hole here or there, it's all nonsense. It's excuses for them to do stuff that they've been itching to do when they were in opposition. VAT on private schools is not what was going to close a huge deficit. They did it because they wanted to punish people who send their children to private schools. Going after farmers, these are not our people, Labour thought. We can have a go at them, take some of their money. Small businesses, this is an attack on working people to give money to for people on benefits. Labour are the welfare party. It's Conservatives that are the party of work. And that's what we've seen with all of the actions that they've taken around tax.
Kemi, talking of the budget, your budget speech impressed a lot of people, but you were also accused of bullying and bullying another woman, i.e. Rachel Reeves. What would you say about that accusation?
I would say that Labour like to dish it, but they can't take it. Every single week, I have Keir Starmer saying one thing or the other to me. I don't complain about it. I deal with it and I get on with the job. That is politics. It is a rough and tumble sport. Rachel Reeves is the Chancellor of the Exchequer. She's not a school prefect. She's not a librarian. She is the second most powerful person in the country, and she is doing a bad job. And if she thinks that anyone telling her that she's not doing a good job is complaining because she's a woman, then she is deluding herself. And I was speaking for a lot of people out there in the country who wanted her to hear what I was saying.
Did you, I'm asking as another woman, Kemi, did you find that offensive when she made the excuse of mansplaining and people were talking to her because she was a woman in that way? Did you find that offensive as a woman?
Yes, because I think it's bad for women if we see senior women in public life complaining about mansplaining. It makes it look like we're not up to the job. She's the one who said, I'm the first female Chancellor of the Exchequer. I'm the first female Chancellor of the Exchequer. I want to be a role model to young girls. I've got two daughters, and what I want them to see is strong women doing their jobs, not spending all the time talking about how they're a woman and people are being mean to them. It is a distraction from what she was elected to do, which was fix the economy. All she's done is made the economy worse. And if she had any decency, she would resign because she's broken a hell of a lot of promises.
Have you spoken to her personally since that day?
No, I haven't. I'm not sure she wanted to speak to me.
Would you like to talk to her?
No, I've said what I had to say. What I would like to see is her changing course.
Now, that was, of course, the budget. That was on Wednesday. It feels like it's been a long time since then, quite frankly. But the government wants to talk about something else today. We're hearing news that in northern France, all of the different regional police forces have finally agreed to institute a pushback policy for small boats in shallow water. This seems to be like a significant success from this government. They've been asking for this for months. I think we've been waiting for it for about 6 or 7 months. And finally, it seems like the French will start pushing these boats back. Is that a victory for this government?
It'll be a victory if it happens. I've heard enough announcements now to not get excited. Do you remember their one in, one out plan where the people that sent to France came right back? This is what Labour does. So giving me an announcement is not enough. An announcement is not a plan. Let us see the plan in action. Then we can decide whether it's a victory or not a victory. But quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of government saying, well, they've agreed this and they've announced that and nothing happening. So we need to stop the boats. We have a plan to stop the boats. We have our borders plan. We've talked about how we made mistakes in government. I'm not here to pretend that we didn't. Mistakes were made. I'm the person who's now been elected to fix those mistakes that our party made with new policy, and I brought them out. Labour should do those things. I think Shabana Mahmood wants to do some things. I don't think her party will let her. So I've given her my support. We need to leave the ECHR as a starting point so that all the other things they need doing can get done.
Kemi, your government did have plenty of opportunity to do many of the things that you say you would do now if you're elected again. Why didn't you do it in the past? Well,
we did do some of those things. You know, you look at the small boats crisis. That wasn't there in 2010. It wasn't there when I came in as an MP in 2017. We had a different problem. Do you remember when illegal migrants were coming through the Channel Tunnel on lorries? We fixed that. We solved that problem. But the thing we tried to do, which was the Rwanda scheme, kept running into legal obstacles, and we didn't get those over the line before the election. We did put it to the public, but of course, lots of people thought 14 years was enough time. But we did do a lot of things. Even the lowering of net migration numbers that you're seeing now, that was because of changes which we made towards the end of our time, changes which Labour opposed, by the way. Lots of people said that they were cruel, but those changes that we left in are now working. So I'm not saying we were perfect, but we did do some things, and I can promise you the country would have been in a much worse place if anyone else had been in charge.
OK, well, Kemi Badenoch, thanks indeed for joining us from that pub. Let's hope it gets opened as soon as possible. And thanks indeed for being here on GB News.
Thanks, Kemi, very much.